Can Medellin, Colombia, revolutionize mobility for its citizens by electrifying buses, improving air quality and accessibility while catalyzing wider sustainable transformation? Hello, and welcome clean mobility pioneers. Medellin stands as one of Latin America's most innovative urban centers when it comes to sustainable transport. As the second largest city in Colombia, it faces acute air quality and congestion challenges, with over 3,000 diesel buses plying daily. Now, in a green mobility push, Medellin is racing to fully electrify its bus fleet by 2030. From pilot testing to large tenders for Chinese electric buses, momentum is accelerating. In this video, we'll explore what's driving this move towards e-buses and how it promises to empower Medellin citizens through cleaner air, better health, and higher quality of life, all while catalyzing the city's wider transformation into a world-class green metropolis. Let's dive in. The need for change. Medellin lies in the heart of the Aburrá Valley, surrounded by the majestic Andes Mountains. This striking landscape also traps air pollution generated from vehicles, industries, construction, and biomass burning. Of total transport emissions, diesel buses currently contribute over 20% of PM 2.5 concentration. This led average annual levels to exceed the WHO's recommended threshold fivefold. Given over 500,000 daily bus riders, this toxic air severely impacts citizen health. Research estimates exposure causes 650 premature deaths yearly in Medellin alone, while exacerbating respiratory and cardiac illnesses. Additionally, noise and traffic from outdated bus fleets hamper livability in what should be vibrant Latino neighborhoods. Recognizing mobility is central to pollution. In 2019, Mayor Federico Gutierrez signed C40's Green and Healthy Streets Declaration, setting Medellin on a path-breaking mission to electrify public transport. Let's analyze key aspects of the plan. E-bus targets and timelines. Mayor Gutierrez committed Medellin to an ambitious vision, procuring only zero-emission buses by 2025 and ensuring a major part of the city shifts to zero emissions by 2030. This aligns with Metro de Medellin's Transit Authority objectives to fully electrify its 4,000-strong fleet over the coming years. Beyond purchasing electric rather than ICE buses, they're also investing heavily in associated charging infrastructure. In fact, the first 64 e-buses from Chinese manufacturer BYD will be deployed on high-traffic routes this year, serving 55 neighborhoods. Annual savings of 275 tons of CO2 are expected from this initial batch. Now, let's take a deeper dive into BYD, the manufacturer behind these revolutionary electric buses. Founded in 1995, BYD is a global leader in electric vehicles and green technology. BYD has become a prominent player in the electric bus market. It claims to be the world's largest manufacturer of electric buses. The company's electric buses are known for their environmental friendliness and energy efficiency. BYD's electric buses can be found in various countries around the world. The company has established a global presence and has supplied electric buses to cities in Asia, Europe, North America, and other regions. BYD's electric buses are often used in public transportation fleets as part of efforts by governments and organizations to reduce emissions and promote sustainable transportation solutions. By 2025, Metro wants all electric buses to account for 65% of service kilometers across Medellin. The first phase will see large existing depots retrofitted for overnight charging. From there, the target is full bus fleet electrification by 2030, in line with Colombia's wider goal for electric cars and buses to account for 30% of all vehicle sales in the next decade. Ambitious? Sure, but as we'll see, Medellin thrives on transport innovation. So, while the road ahead has challenges aplenty, they have the vision and drive to get there faster than we can imagine. Pioneering transport innovation. What gives Medellin confidence of pulling this off? Well, they're no strangers to pioneering mobility transformation. back in the 1990s. The city was torn by poverty and violence from narcotics trafficking. To connect fragmented neighborhoods across tough terrain, Medellin invested heavily in metro trains, cable cars, and escalators. This accessibility boost catalyzed the creation of public spaces and libraries. Crime rates plummeted, and quality of life indices shot up, what became globally renowned as the Medellin Miracle. The key was using transit innovation to physically and socially reinvent the city. And this collaborative mindset to leverage mobility for the greater good continues today. Medellin also operates South America's first electric Metro Plus bus rapid transit system, integrated with cable cars, bikes, and electric scooters. So layering e-buses represents a natural evolution rather than revolution in their transport ethos. Let's explore key pillars enabling this shift. So how exactly does Medellin aim to deploy 4,000 electric buses within a few years to meet its environmental targets? Political vision. With strong federal backing for decarbonization, Mayor Gutierrez's public commitment to sign C40's Green and Healthy Streets Declaration catalyzed investment momentum. Stakeholder buy-in. From bus operators to utilities and technology firms, public and private players are actively coordinating Medellin's e-mobility expansion through working groups. Priority lanes. Dedicated BRT lanes across the city will enable unhindered e-bus fleet movement, optimizing routes. Predefined corridors also simplify charging point mapping. Clean energy. Abundant hydroelectricity and solar energy breathe life into Medellin's electric ambitions. Renewables account for 70% of Colombia's power mix, making operations emissions-free. Adaptive infrastructure. Leveraging experience with cable cars and metros, the city is channeling resources towards retrofitting depots, upgrading substations, and streamlining grids to support massive charging needs. Bilateral cooperation. Technology and knowledge transfer agreements with Chinese electric bus manufacturers like BYD accelerate localization of next-gen vehicles suited for tropical terrain. Through such comprehensive planning, Medellin is laying the groundwork for electrifying majority state-run transit in the coming years. Now let's glimpse impacts on citizens as e-buses permeate city streets. The future is electric. It's 2030. Medellin's buses are now 100% electric, transforming mobility across the city. Thanks to visionary leadership, what changed over the pivotal decade? Air quality. Switching diesel buses slashed PM 2.5 and nitrogen oxides significantly, cutting pollution-linked premature deaths by 80% and respiratory illness by 74%. Livability. Noise dropped by 50% across targeted corridors as electric motors replaced loud, outdated diesel engines. Citizens felt relief and reclaimed community spaces. Affordability. Lower fuel and maintenance costs made travel 10% cheaper, improving accessibility for lower income groups dependent on public transport. Local economy. Retrofitting existing buses and assembling new e-buses generated over 5,000 well-paid jobs for technicians plus suppliers. Grid reliability. Smart charging optimization stabilized the distribution network, with batteries providing storage support during peak hours. Urban equity. Integrated public transit by train, tram, cable car, and now clean buses connected all neighborhoods with economic hubs, lowering inequality. Tourism. International visitors flocked fourfold to experience Medellin's sustainable mobility model further. Medellin's sustainable mobility model, further boasting the green economy. So, in a decade, electric buses transformed Medellin from a pollution hotspot to a leading sustainable city, ensuring clean air and access for residents plus visitors alike. Lastly, Medellin today represents both the problems and the solutions for fast-growing cities and emerging economies. Unchecked growth in diesel vehicles chokes citizens, slowing productivity and obscuring the vibrant Latino culture. But the metropolis refuses to let mobility mayhem define it. Instead, by innovating fearlessly and collaborating openly, Medellin signals hope for what's possible by the electrification of transport. The road ahead remains long. Yet, in coupling visionary leadership with robust policies and public-private participation, Medellin accelerates towards a clean urban future. one where electric buses zip silently through revived neighborhoods, showcasing the power of collective climate action, where sustainable mobility empowers citizens, getting them where they want, while helping this remarkable city soar to where it wants to be. Well, that's all for today's glimpse into Medellin's electric bus shift, empowering citizens through clean air and equitable transit. In our next video, we explore how Oslo is pioneering Europe's most radical plan to implement 100% emission-free public transport across Norway's capital within 5 years. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.